Hello students, welcome to the EPG Pathshala. I am Dr. Rashmi Sharma, Head of the Department OBNHR, Lal Bahadur Shastri Institute of Management, Delhi. Today we will learn the module Work-Life Balance. This module is from the paper Contemporary Issues in HRM and Future Trends. The learning outcomes from this module are: we would learn the 6 components of work-life balance. What are the different theories associated with work-life balance, the different practices for work-life balance, work-life conflict, and how American and European MNCs follow work-life balance vis-a-vis the Indian companies. Understanding the importance of work-life balance, knowing the difference between the MNCs and Indian companies' work-life balance practices, and implementing the work-life balance in their own organizations and eliminating work-life conflict are some of the objectives that would be fulfilled by this module. The purpose of this module is to analyze the concept of work-life balance and its importance in today's organization. We will also look at the components of the work-life balance and its relevance in today's world. Also, about how many organizations are providing this benefit to their employees and whether it is one of the major factors that attract talent to join the organization at the first place. Having understood the concept of work-life balance, now let us understand what are the important 6 components of work-life balance. They are self-management, time management, stress management, change management, technology management, and leisure management. Self-management refers to sufficiently managing one's own self, which can be very challenging, particularly in terms of getting proper sleep, exercise, and nutrition. It is the recognition which tells us that effectively using the personal spaces in our lives is very vital and that available resources, time, and life are finite. It is most appropriately said that effective time management involves making optimal use of your day and the supporting resources that can be summoned. One can keep pace when the resources match the challenges. Stress management refers to managing the stressful situations. Since societies tend to become much more complex over time, therefore, these days, stress on an individual is inevitable. More people, distraction, and noise require each one of us to become adept at maintaining tranquility and working ourselves out of the pressure-filled situation. Change management refers to the continuous adaptation of new methods and readapting others, which is vital to a successful career and a very happy life. Effective change management involves making periodic and concentrated efforts to ensure that the volume and rate of change at work and at home does not overwhelm or defeat you. Technology management refers to effectively managing technology, which means ensuring that technology serves you rather than abuse you. Technology has always been with us since the first walking stick, flint, spear, and wheel. Now, the rate of change is accelerating, brought on by the vendors who are seeking to expand the market share. Leisure management. The most overlooked part of the work-life balance supports discipline. It acknowledges the importance of rest and relaxation, that one cannot shortchange the leisure and that time off is a vital component of the human experience. Now let us understand the different theories in support of adoption of work-life balance policies instituted by the management. Mainly, there are four theories that explain the foundation behind the adoption of work-life policies by the management or the organization. Each of these theories identify a distinct set of predictive conditions. Feldstedt et al. 2002 have proposed this and has received validation through its adoption by other researchers. Institutional theory links management's decision to adopt work-life balance practices to conform to normative pressures in the society, namely organizational size, ownership, industry, unionization levels, and other factors that influence. Organizational adaptation theory connects the responsiveness of organizations to internal environmental factors, namely proportion of female staff, skill levels, work processes, and senior management values. High commitment theory regards the work-life balance practices as strategic HRM initiatives that are taken up in order to generate increased employee commitment to the organization. Situational theory explains the adoption of work-life balance in terms of pressures to increase the profitability and productivity and to deal with the problems of employee recruitment and retention. This is again a theory propounded by Feldstedt et al. In the year 2002. Let's understand what are the different work-life balance practices. Work-life balance practices or initiatives at the workplace typically include flexible working options such as flexible working hours, telework, part-time work, term time, job sharing, as well as childcare and elder care facilities, information or financial support pertaining to the non-work sphere of life, and various on-site services. Such interventions are typically termed as family-friendly policies, that is FFPs, or work-life benefits and policies. Wise and Bond in 2003 have cited four main drivers for introducing the work-life policies. Recruitment, whether it enables becoming an employer of choice, also countering negative work practices such as longer working hours, retention, that is more response to be given to the workforce changing and diverse needs, supportive work environment, that is improving the organizational culture with resultant heightened morale, and finally motivation among staff and equality by improving the access through inclusiveness. There are certain work-life balance programs that have been listed by researchers Conrad and Mangel in their study done in 2013. As per these, there are some which are listed such as on-site daycare, near-site daycare, sick childcare, emergency childcare, sick days of childcare, on-site conveniences, extended maternity leave, gradual return to work, paternity leave, adoption leave, parental leave, spouse placement, supervisory training in work-family sensitivity, flexi timings, job sharing, party year work, part-time workforce, voluntary condensed time, and part-time work for professionals. Now let us understand some of the terms. A compressed work week refers to an arrangement where an employee works the standard number of hours in 1 or 2 weeks period but compresses those hours into lesser number of work days, thereby working longer hours at work. Next, flexi timing. Flexible working arrangements take a number of structures. These include the flexibility in working time arrangement, the number of hours worked, and with regard to the place of work. These kind of organizations adopt various kinds of flexible policies such as flexible scheduling program, job sharing, part-time work, teleworking, etc. in workplace. Family leave is also considered one of the work-life balance policy. Family leave policy allows an employee to be away from the workplace for a period which may vary in order to deal with the family responsibilities. And this has been proposed by Bond and Weiss researchers in the year 2003. Let us now understand some employee assistance programs. Employee assistance programs are intended to recognize the interaction between people, domestic and working lives, and to offer the confidential counseling to staff to address the personal or other problems, which includes work-related stress that may be affecting their performance. Job sharing is a very widespread form of work that has many constructive aspects and is also viewed as a family-friendly practice. It is an employee-driven trend and is variously used in response to the perceived need for more family-friendly policies or as a means of tackling the unemployment crisis in some economies. Job splitting is similar to job sharing, except that responsibilities and tasks are generally equally divided. Both staff members are responsible for their own tasks. This can be a very useful approach in that it makes use of the particular skill of each employee with a resultant net gain for the employers. Compressed hours are referred to compressed working weeks, which involved the reorganization of work time into extended but fewer chunks during a working week. This could mean working hours being compressed into 3, 4 or 4.5 days a week or 8-9 days out of a fortnight. Another possibility is working 4 to 10 hours per day per week as opposite to 5-8 hours day. Work-life conflict. Work-life conflict refers to the experience of conflict between work and life domain. Cantor in the year 1977 pointed out that while work certainly affects life, life also affects work. He concluded that family situations can define work orientation, motivations, abilities, emotional energies, and the demands that people bring to the workplace. We will now focus on two types of conflicts. Work interfering with family conflict. Work interfering with family refers to WIF conflict, which occurs when work-related activities spill over or interfere with home responsibilities. There are so many people who bring work home and try to complete them at the expense of family time, and they do not devote enough of quality time with their family members. FIW conflict refers to family interfering with work conflict which arises when family roles and responsibilities spill over or impede the work activities. For example, somebody having to cancel an important meeting because the child is sick. Although strongly correlated with one another, they are conceptually and empirically distinct constructs. There are differences in work-life balance between the approaches between American and Indian companies. The content and selection of services varies across different countries according to local practice, legislation, and other factors. Let us now have a look at some of the examples. The flexi working hours of American or European multinationals are what we are going to talk about now. Most American and European multinationals have a large number of facilities that allow flexibility between work and life outside. Formal flexible work arrangements often include part-time, term time, compressed working week, tele or home-based work, and so on. Employee assistance programs at HP provides information and advice to employees and their families free of cost on a range of issues such as emotional problems, legal matters, wealth management, consumer advice, and domestic issues. Childcare and helpline services are also offered by HP. HP runs a dedicated helpline service that provides expert advice on a wide range of child and dependent care issues. In addition, the childcare vouchers provide tax relief to the employees as well. Let's now understand what are the different tools that can help and support the work-life balance. Do you know that everybody who's working for HP has an access to equipment such as laptop and mobile phones and broadband functioning? This facilitates and encourages the mobile and flexible working. In addition, HP also offers global access to enable easy but secure access to the work files and email regardless of the employee's location. In this module, we have learned that the components of work-life balance and also understood what are the different categories of work-life conflict. Some of the best work-life balance practices were also cited in this module, and a comparison between Indian and American European multinationals were highlighted. Interestingly, while almost all the American multinationals focus on flexible working practices as the main thrust, Indian companies only focus on employee welfare in the public sector and the employee assistance programs for cultural, recreational, health and educational programs. It shows that the conceptualization of work-life balance initiatives in the Indian companies is different from the way it is done in the Anglo-Saxon and West European countries. Also, the concept of work-life balance is yet very new to the old economies and industries in India, although the welfare only focus is where there is the latter. Thank you.